This is Hudson on Q95 Country. Ball drops down just about the 22-yard line, crosses the 30, does the receiver, not quite sure who picked up the ball that time.
Number 30, only able to return about 4 or 5 yards. Looks like Hudson's going to set up 1st and 10 from about their 33-yard line.
Well, starting off the quarterback slot for these Hudson Tigers is the head coach's son, Jason Lawrence, and he'll be taking care of most of the duties in the back. I believe that's Rogers, and gains maybe 2 or 3 yards that time.
Just a fantastic stop by the Clinton defense, and as you say, picked up about 2 yards. A host of red jerseys in there. Hudson's got to feel things out. They've got to see exactly what they can do to penetrate the ball tonight and try to score some points against the tough Clinton Redskin defense.
High formation now for the Tigers. Makes the call. The handoff is bobbled, picked up though, and the ball actually jumped in and out of the hands of the back, and he gained maybe nothing on that run, as that time
Corey Bork was the ball carrier. Nick, as you say, a little pitch off to him coming around the right side. He bobbled it. Very fortunate for Hudson. He was able to fall on it. So they're already in trouble as we look at 3rd and 7. I guess they gave him a yard on the play. But a big play coming up right off the bat here for the Hudson Tiger offense.
Well, the big man, the receiver that you might see him go to several times this evening, number 88, Ryan Sanford, the basketball player. A little bit jumping on the line, and that time looks like the Hudson Tigers will get a break there.
Looked like Clinton, number 52, jumping off sides. Chad Erickson, real quick, wanting to get in there and apply some pressure to Mr. Lawrence. And indeed, it goes against Clinton, so it is a break for the Hudson Tigers on offense here.
Well, now, Dwayne, the question is, you've got a 3rd and 2 situation. Actually make it more like a 3rd and a long 2 or 3. And now, probably they would have gone to the air that time. Now they're going to have to think about going to the ground.
Got to go with whatever's going to work for him. Both attempts at the ground so far yet to pick up anything, Nick.
And it is a handoff inside. Little lot of bumbling and stumbling, but Dan Rogers awful close to that 1st down, Dwayne.
Going to depend on exactly where they mark the ball. From our viewpoint here, it looks like he's got it maybe by the length of a football, but indeed they give it to him. 1st down for Hudson.
Rogers didn't look like he was actually going to make the 1st down. He had one of his own offensive linemen run in front of him, and he had to sort of push off him and get around his left side, but once he got there, he was able to get that 1st down yardage, and just did as he picked up about the 3 yards. So we got a 1st down and 10 now. The ball spotted at the 42-yard line. Handoff again goes inside, this time to number 44, Casey Randolph. That's going to be somebody new we'll see this evening, and Randolph gets a nice run that time for another 1st down. He crosses the midfield stripe and all the way down to just about the 46-yard line of Clinton. So there's a man that could really figure into the plate tonight, Casey Randolph.
Well, I'm sure Casey Randolph going to be sharing some duties out of that backfield due to the injury of Monahan. And as you say, caught Clinton defense off guard that time. Big yardage pickup for him there in Clinton territory.
T formation, handoff again to Randolph inside. He breaks through the line, and another nice run that time by Casey Randolph. He gets past the line and into the linebacker territory, gaining a nice chunk of yardage that time. Give him about 6 yards, making it 2nd and 4, and might be the man to go to this evening, Dwayne.
Hudson coming out surprisingly, keeping the ball on the ground, churning up the yardage, working away at the clock, and they find themselves very deep into Clinton Redskin territory, looking pretty good offensively.
Ball spotted at the 41-yard line. Handoff again goes inside, but this time the Redskins are there and ready to meet the running back.
Big stop that time. The last guy to get up off the pile looks like number 64, Jason Hedletsky, and stopped him for only one. I guess they give him nothing on the play, so we're looking at 3rd and 4.
Actually, -1. That was Casey Randolph again with the carry. So makes it 3rd down and long 4, about 5 yards for the Hudson Tigers. They don't want this drive to stall now, so we might see a little bit of air work this time. Up to the line steps Lawrence. He makes the call. It's an I formation. Takes the handoff inside. He does hand off. And running around the left side, right side rather, is number 20, Dan Rogers that time. And Dan Rogers with a big gainer down that right side. He gains just about 11 yards in the run, and good working the field on that right side. It was a real open area for them.
He also had the advantage of the referee lined up on this side. Nick just totally unintentionally threw a great block for him. He was able to pick up another 3 yards. 1st down for Hudson. They continue to move. The Clinton Redskin defense going to have to rise to the occasion very soon, or Hudson could be on the board.
Ball's on the 30. Hand up again inside. This time goes off to number 26, and that's Corey Bork with the run that time, and he'll gain a good 7 yards. So they're really working the ground game real well on these Hudson Tigers, Dwayne.
Clinton Redskin defense unable to stop them so far, as you say. We look at 2nd down and 4, and the ball spotted deep in Clinton territory. Hudson just seemingly at will so far, able to do whatever they wish to do with the ball on the ground.
23-yard line. They've got a standard formation. It's going to be a pitch this time, but a fake pitch. Handoff inside goes to Bork, and he's very close to the first down marker again. So 3 first downs so far. These Hudson Tigers have done quite well.
Well, as I say, yeah, it's very surprising that Hudson's able to come out and move the ball without any pressure. Clinton defensive unit so far yet to it. It's paying off as Hudson.
And the ball now just about the 20. It's 3rd and a short one. Run inside by Randolph. He gets the first down, but a yellow hanky goes down that time, Dwayne. We'll have to wait and see what the call is. Usually in a play like that, we're looking at holding.
Yeah, we're waiting for the preliminary indication from the official, and I'm not exactly sure as the official now makes his way over. And he gives the sign. And indeed, it is a hold against Hudson. So, boy, just an unfortunate break for the offensive unit here. But now let's see if they can overcome this penalty and maybe come up with a big play here.
Well, on this drive so far, Dwayne, we have not even seen the Hudson Tigers even remotely go to the air yet, as Jake Lawrence has just been content to hand it off to Casey Randolph, Corey Bork, Dan Richardson.
3 players coming out of the backfield doing some fantastic yardage. I've got down Rogers for 16 yards so far, Bork with 12, and Randolph for 15. So they're sharing the responsibilities very well.
All right, there it is, a pass inside, and he's not going to get the first down that time as Lawrence rolled around the left side and hit his man, but only gained maybe one. No, in fact, he dropped the ball, so make it 4th down now. The ball spotted at the 30-yard line, and would expect now the Hudson Tigers to go for at least some sort of points in the board.
Well, Nick, you'd think so. Certainly, I thought he had caught the pass, to be honest with you. From our vantage point here, it looked like he had it well secured. However, the official ruled an incomplete pass. We look at 4th and 9. Let's see what Hudson comes up with here offensively.
And they decide to go for it. So Lawrence now with a man in motion. He goes back to pass. He's looking for a man downfield. He's got a man. Oh, and it's just over the head of number 12, Sean Cook, the tight end, 185-pounder. 6'3", and the pass was on the money, just a little bit high, but Cook didn't exactly get up in the air the way he should have.
Yeah, as you say, I think Cook realized that he was in the open. He desperately wanted to catch it. He was well into first down range. Would have been a fantastic play had they been able to pull it off, but as you say, pass just a little bit overthrown, and Cook, unfortunately for Hudson, not able to come up with it. Clinton now takes over 1st and 10.
Matt Blaisdell, the young junior leading this club, up to the line, and he's making the call. The ball spotted at the 30-yard line. Fumbled right away by Blaisdell, but it is picked up by one of the running backs, and in disgust, Blaisdell throws his hands down. So they lose 2 yards on the first play. Not a great way to get off on your offensive foot, is it, Dwayne?
Oh, that's for sure. As you say, defense for Clinton just seemingly not quite ready to play the ball game yet. They've got some things to work out, and then, boy, their offense comes out and the sputters on the first play. So now we look at 2nd and a long 11.
And the beautiful red, the Clinton Redskins run inside this time, goes to, I believe it's Roberts with the carry that time. A nice run, in fact. Gains about 7 or 8 yards. And, yes, indeed, it was Jim Roberts, the man we're going to expect to see most of the evening.
Nick, he's a workhorse in the backfield, shares that responsibility with Jacob Arnold. And, yes, for the bread and butter man, I think that Coach Scott McNitt will tell you when you put the ball in the hands of Jim, it happened very quickly.
3rd and 3 now. The ball spotted at the 37-yard line. Blaisdell calling the play to the line. Man in motion. It's a pitch inside again to Roberts. Or actually this time it goes to number 16, and that's Jacob Arnold, and he gets a couple of jukes here and there, and looks like he got a first down, Dwayne, but there was a hanky on the field.
Nick, there's a flag thrown on the play. A preliminary indication would seem to go against Clinton, and indeed a hold coming up against Clinton. So, boy, we saw it against Hudson. Now we see it against Clinton. Penalties already in this ball game starting to stall some good drives for both offenses.
Well, it seems like something we've seen throughout the county this year, Dwayne, is the fact that penalties have played a big key in a lot of ball games. stifling a lot of drives there. They had a 3rd and 3. Now they're faced with a 3rd and 13.
Now it's going to be interesting to see if Coach Scott McNitt and Mr. Blaisdell elect to team up and go with the pass, or do you come back and try to run it? Offensively, they looked very well on that play. There was a big hole there. Arnold with a big gainer, but it's off for naught. So let's see what they do as they look at 3rd and about 13.
Blaisdell up at the line with the call. He goes back to pass, rolling around to his right. He throws it. He's got a man open, hits him, but it's going to be short of a first down. That time, the ball was thrown to Chris Imber. And nice gainer that time, just about 11 yards on the pass, 12 yards in the pass, but just short, about 2 yards. It's 4th and 2, and do you go for it now if you're the Redskins or not? I guess it's something to decide for them.
Nick, if I were the Clinton Redskins, with the way Hudson moved the ball, I think I'd try to punt it and get it out of there because the ball's still deep in Clinton territory, and it's going to be interesting. It looks like the way they're lining up, they're going to go for it. Boy, I'm
early in the ball game, that's for sure. 5:40 remaining. Handoff inside to Roberts. He gets the first down and more. And the bread and butter man there, Jim Roberts, gets the first down. The junior, 5'11", 175 pounds, and he just bowls his way in for the first down, Dwayne.
That's what you can do when you got a player with the ability and talents of a Roberts in that backfield. You're not hesitant to go with it. And tell you, Coach outsmarted me on that one. I think I would have punted it away, but of course we're not coaching. We're calling the game for you. And now Clinton has a first down, and they continue to move the ball offensively.
We've got goose eggs here at Clinton High School. 5:29 remaining in the first half. At the line is Blaisdell. He makes the call again. Handoff inside to Roberts fake, but then it's Blaisdell holds on to it with an option. He was going to pitch it off, but finally he gets tackled, gains about 2 yards that time. He was juking and moving back and forth, trying to get some open running room, and he just didn't have it, Dwayne.
Nick, from my vantage point, it looked to me like the play might have been broken up just a little bit. I think Blaisdell went to go to one of the backs coming out of the backfield. They simply weren't there. He had no other choice but to keep the ball. As you say, able to kind of scramble around and make a little bit of something out of nothing. Picked up about 2. We look at 2nd and 8 as he brings them up over the line.
The Redskins traveling from your right to left on your radio dial this evening. Blaisdell with the call at the line, hands off again inside, this time to Chapman. He gets across the 50, down to the 45, down to the 40, troops and moves and twists his way down to Jacob Arnold that time, all the way down to the 37-yard line of the Hudson Tigers, and that's what Jacob Arnold and Jim Roberts can do to you.
Jacob Arnold and Jim Roberts. Arnold, as Coach Scott McNitt commented, a second game of the season that we broadcast, is more than willing to share the responsibilities with a big running back like Roberts in that backfield. But whenever you give the ball to Arnold, he's right there and does the job for you, as evident there. Picked up 18 yards, a first down for Clinton. They continue to move.
Handoff inside to Roberts. He jumps over a couple of players, just bowls his way up the field, almost short of a first down that time. He gains about 9 yards, and that's what Jim Roberts does best. Is straight ahead running, gets a couple of good blocks, gets through the line, and before you know it, he's in the linebacker territory.
And Nick jumping over one of the potential tacklers there for the Hudson defense as they went to tackle him low, and Roberts simply jumped over it, high-hurdled it, eluded a tackle, and as you say, a big gain for the Clinton Redskins.
The Redskins now got a 2nd and 2 situation. The ball spotted in the 28-yard line. Handoff, he goes back to pass. He's got a man open downfield, and just in and out of the hands of Sean Young, as Young had beat his defender, was just about the 5-yard line, and the ball just slightly overthrown by Blaisdell.
Blaisdell did an excellent job of faking at the line, dropped back into his pocket, had plenty of time to throw, and as you say, just simply overthrew his intended receiver, who was just set up perfectly for 6 points.
He definitely had a nice touch on him. Good spiral, good tight spiral that time by Blaisdell, so he's definitely got some money. There's a little bit of motion on the line, on the end of the line that time.
Number 50, Richard Russ, I think, went over, and we wait on the official call from the officials out on the field, but I'm almost quite certain this one's going to go against Clinton. So, boy, another penalty working against the drive.
Illegal motion, and as you mentioned, they had a 3rd and 2 situation. Now it's back to a 3rd and 7. They're going to have to go to the air this time and see how it works for them air-wise. But the Clinton Redskins so far have really worked the ground game quite well, so we probably expect them to see him do it again. Back in the backfield it is Roberts and Arnold. He goes inside up to Arnold. He runs through, sprints off to the 20, and just gets to about the 19, maybe about the 20-yard line. As boy, that's what Jacob Arnold does best. He just moves his feet very quickly and gets those big gainers.
I'm a big boy, as you say, kind of tall, a basketball player, noted for his abilities there. But that time put it together and picked up the first down for Clinton. They continue to move. Penalty didn't seem to bother him too much that time.
Yeah, he's a very versatile back, one that can come out of the backfield and catch a pass as a relief valve. He's 6'2", so he's got some height on him, and he can really reach those tall balls. Handoff goes inside to Roberts, and he churns and moves his way up to about the 13-yard line, and seems like the Hudson ground game going well, and same with the Clinton ground game.
Offensively, both teams able to do just about what they want to do as we approach the 3.5-minute mark of this first quarter. We're still scoreless here at Wagner Field in Clinton High School.
And both teams calling the plays in the huddle, getting ready to assemble at the 15-yard line, just inside the 15-yard line of the Hudson Tigers. And we've got 3 minutes remaining in this first quarter of play here at Clinton High School. Man in motion. It's a pitch out to Roberts. He's going to work around that right side. He's going to churn. He's going to get to the 5 and pulled out of bounds. So Roberts that time with a 10-yard gain and doing what he does best, which is just churning around the end there.
Simply just the speed of Roberts evident on that play as one of the Hudson linemen got in the Clinton backfield and was in pursuit of Roberts, and Roberts just simply able to outrun him. Otherwise, it would have been a fantastic play for the Hudson defense as they broke through the line, and Nick was just there. It's just a simple fact that Roberts just outran him.
First and goal, the ball at the 3 as the Clinton Redskins line up with the line. Blaisdell at the QB spot with the call. He goes handoff inside for Roberts, and it's a touchdown, Clinton Redskins.
Clinton comes on the board first at the 2:40 mark in the first period as Roberts barrels his way, again, right through the middle of the pack for a 3-yard run, and the score now, Clinton 6, Hudson 0. We'll like to see whether Clinton goes for the 1, or will they try to go for the 2?
Seems like every team all season long, everybody's afraid to put their kickers up at the line, Dwayne. And the case here, too. They're going to go for the 2 points now. Blaisdell, handoff inside, and it's 2 points.
Jacob Arnold carries it in for the 2 points. So at the 2:40 mark, Clinton 8, Hudson 0.
We'll take a quick timeout here on Q95 Country.
So, Finster?
1995 most cars. Custom wheels are extra. Coupons are good through November 15th, so pick yours up today and save big money on your car's care. And McKee's Amoco, 242 North Main, downtown Adrian.
Back here at Clinton High School, and here's the kickoff. It's received by number 40, and that is Brian Mary. He works his way up about the 25 to the 30-yard line and is finally tackled by a gang of Clinton Redskins. So the Hudson Tigers will be starting at the 30-yard line. 2:34 remaining in this first half, and they're down 8-0 as they set back up at the line. They've got Jake Lawrence leading the way, T formation. And it's a handoff inside. This time it goes to number 44, Casey Randolph. And Randolph weaves his way across the field and gets just across the 35, 36-yard line for a 6-yard gain. So I'm sure we're going to see the bread and butter continue for them, which is Casey Randolph in the run game.
Casey Randolph carrying the ball for the 4th time tonight. And Nick moving the ball very effectively. That time was hit after he had picked up about 3 yards, carried the Clinton defender with him for another 3. Some good footwork for Casey Randolph so far.
T formation again. Lawrence with the call. Quick set, handoff again to Randolph. He works his way across the 40-yard line and almost up to the 45. So seems like Casey Randolph having an excellent night. That time a 9-yard gain. Actually giving him an 8-yard gain.
Good job by Casey Randolph as he comes in to fill that spot by Mitch Monahan. And so far, as you say, so far 2 plays from the line of scrimmage. They pick up a first down, and again, doesn't quite look like the Clinton defense is gelling out there as they're able to do, Hudson that is, whatever they want to do with the ball on the ground.
Randolph is a junior, by the way, of 5'10", 170 pound. He also plays linebacker. Pitch outside this time, goes to Bork. He crosses the 45 and is stacked up by several Clinton Redskins. Hey, there's a flag at the end of the play there, Dwayne. That might be piling on.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see exactly what the officials do have. Several players kind of unpiling there, and up off the bottom of the pack, Casey Bork, he exchanges handshakes with number 34 from Clinton, and now the official just about ready to give us a preliminary indication. Now they go back in and huddle. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on, Nick.
Well, there's a couple of folks standing there in face mask, and that'll be a 5-yard penalty, or is it an intentional, Dwayne?
I believe they called it, well, now they begin to march, so we can simply watch how far they go. It's going to be the big one, 15.
That's one you don't want to get. That's something that the Redskins are going to be really having to work on for their second half. If you're thinking about something to worry about the second half, 1:29 remaining in this first half, and after the 15-yard march, the ball is all the way down to the 37-yard line of the Clinton Redskins. So a big mistake there, as you don't want to tag those on near the, especially when you're a club like Hudson, who is driving. Handoff inside, open field running, and nice run that time. I believe that was Bork as the ball carry, and he just tore through the line. 16-yard gain for Corey Bork that time, and I'll tell you what, he had open field.
Some good blocking up there on the line. Credit the lineman for the Hudson Tigers for opening up a big hole, and before the Clinton defense could even respond, Corey Bork was just open and was turning up the yardage, and finally one of the safety men for Clinton brought him down.
Well, as you mentioned, the Clinton defense having trouble getting on the rails this evening. Outside goes Lawrence. It looks like a broken play, and he is tackled down at the 20-yard line after Lawrence scrambled out the left side. He had nothing going. I thought he was going to pitch it out, but he ended up running it by himself, Dwayne.
He rolled out to the left side, as he loves to do, rolling to that left, looking into the end zone. There was simply nobody there, so yeah, he had to kind of scramble for his life. Worked out pretty good for him, picked up 4 yards, looking at 2nd and 4.
T formation as the Hudson Tigers line up at the 20-yard line of the Redskins. They're down 8-0. Head up inside. This time goes to Randolph, and Randolph continues to churn up some yardage. That time, give him a 7-yard gain, and he just really works through the line. The Clinton Redskins so far have been knocked back. The offensive line of the Hudson Tigers has been doing just an excellent job this evening, Dwayne.
5th first down unofficially of the ball game as we get to the... Yeah, Hudson offensively able to...
And we've got 25 seconds remaining. This will be probably the final play of this first quarter. T formation again for the Tigers. Handoff inside goes to Casey Randolph. He moves himself up to, he breaks around the left side and moves himself up to just about the 5-yard line. So doing a great job as Casey Randolph as this clock clicks down. And that will be the final play of the first quarter. 8-0 Clinton leads here at Clinton High School. We'll take a quick timeout and come back with more after this on Q95 Country.
Your physical therapy for a quick Q95 sports update on the Adrian Ann Arbor Huron game. Adrian's up 8-0 over Ann Arbor Huron. Let's take you back to Nick Downs and Dwayne Brown out there in Clinton.
Okay, thank you very much, Marty. And the Hudson Tigers line up to the line, and it's a handoff outside. Running outside this time is number 34, and that is Mark Gibbs. He gains just about a yard on that play, and we are just in the second quarter of play. It's 8-0 here also, as the Hudson Tigers trying to score after a Clinton Redskin drive. Really, both teams have only seen the ball once so far, and this is the second time now for the Hudson Tigers. Second down now. Handoff. Actually, it's a third down, and out goes Lawrence around the left, right side. He's got a man in the end zone. Touchdown! Ryan Stanford on the other end of the pass as Lawrence rolled around the right side for what seemed to be an eternity for probably most Hudson fans, but finally he saw in the end zone Stanford just in the corner and gets him for the touchdown, Dwayne.
I'm surprised that the Clinton defense just kind of broke down on the play, Nick. Number 16, Jacob Arnold, was with Stanford all the way, and then suddenly right at the tail end of that play, Arnold kind of broke out of the end zone, kind of come back out to about the goal line, and Stanford just simply standing all alone over in the corner of the end zone and caught it for 6 points for Hudson.
Well, the Tigers are going to go for 2 here and try to even up the score. Lawrence now at the line with the call. Man in motion, and we got a man in motion that time. Right in the end, I believe, an overzealous Mark Gibbs.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Preliminary indications now being made, and that's going to go against Hudson. So now we see exactly what we're going to mark. They're going to mark it off, and now let's see what Hudson elects to do.
Now it's at the 8-yard line, so they're going to go for the 2-point conversion again, but instead of being at the 3, they'll be at the 8, so make it a little bit more interesting play. Got 2 out on the left side of the field as Lawrence takes a look at what the defense has been set by the Tigers. He goes back to pass, looking for a man downfield. He's got him. It's Stanford wins the 2 points. So a nice, spectacular grab by Stanford, and we've got an 8-8 tie here at Clinton High School. We'll take a quick timeout on Q95 Country.
Honeywell would like to take
Here, as here it is. And Roberts is going to bounce right in front of Roberts. He picks it up finally at the 15-yard line. He looks downfield, but several Hudson Tigers are all over him, and there's a flag on the play. right at the end of the play as Roberts is taken down just about the 25-yard line.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see the official way out in front of that play and then kind of threw the flag as the play came towards him. And we've got ourselves a clip against Clinton.
So the Redskins continue to really hurt themselves with penalties this evening, Wayne.
Nick, in exactly 13, well, not even 13 minutes of play, Clinton has already picked up 5 penalties for a total of 30, 40, 45 yards. 5 penalties and 45 yards, and that's something they're going to have to stop real quick.
Redskins now waiting for the officials to mark off the distance here. 8-8 ball game as the Hudson Tigers drove right down the field, and nice pass that time, a 5-yard pass from Lawrence to, I'm losing my, here we go. Lawrence and Ryan Sanford, and then they had 2 connected again for the 2-point conversion. So, as I mentioned, Sanford, one of his favorite receivers. I'm sure we'll see that combination again and again this evening.
Oh, Nick, it was evident on those last 2 plays, and Sanford there answering the call, as well as the rest of the Hudson Tigers, making an interesting ball game here as now Clinton lines up deep in their own territory.
Deep is the word at the 12-yard line. Handoff inside goes to Roberts. He trips up and gets about a 6-yard gain that time. So even when Roberts tends to fumble and stumble, he can still gain some good yardage. He's got heavy, quick forward momentum.
Well, Roberts, as you say, just the workhorse back there. And now Clinton finds themselves with the 2nd and 4, and the ball marked at about their 18-yard line. So they try to begin their offensive drive.
Hatfield comes out and... again, it's a handoff inside to Roberts. He's got a hole. He cracks across the 35-yard line and is dropped just about the 35-yard line as Roberts found a hole and got a big gainer that time, about a 14-yard gain, give Mr. Jim Roberts. And as you mentioned, he's going to continue to be the workhorse for these Clinton Redskins.
Roberts rolled out open into midfield. They elected to cut back to his right side, and when he did, number 34, Mark Gibbs, stopping him there and also stopping 6 points as Roberts just about broke that one.
Spot him at the 34-yard line. The Clinton Redskins 1st and 10. Man in motion. Handoff inside this time and tripped up that time. Looked like the ball might have been fumbled, but no case that time. Number 16 with the run. That's Jacob Arnold. And he'll gain, give him 4 or 5 yards that time. So give him 4 yards, actually. So it'll make it 2nd and 6. We've got an 8-8 ball game. 9:53 remaining here at Clinton High School, and the field is named Walker Field.
Wagner Field.
Weicker Field, I'm sorry. Alma mater of Dwayne Brown, so no favoritism, Dwayne, okay?
No problem there. Clinton lining up over the ball, looking at 2nd and 6.
Handoff inside goes to Robertson. Again, he just pulls his way through. Couple of Hudson Tigers trying to steal the ball from him, and 10-yard, 11-yard gain that time with the forward progress. And you saw a couple of Hudson Tigers just reach for the ball, and they said, hey, if we can't stop him, maybe we can strip it.
And then Roberts continued to turn and just move his way upfield. And we've got ourselves now a timeout for Hudson.
The ball spotted just about the 50-yard line. 8-8, we'll take a quick timeout here on Q95 Country.
Together here, otherwise this could be an interesting ball game, to say the least.
Players right in front of us at the 50-yard line. Handoff inside, and this time it goes to outside to Arnold. He runs around to the 40. He's going to get down to the 35, just cuts around the corner, and he is knocked out of bounds at the 30-yard line. So Jacob Arnold, with a quickness around the left side that time, really got him the first down as he just churned and moved.
Nick, we continue to talk about second effort week after week. Back for about a 3-yard loss, that play almost happened. And Jacob Arnold simply refusing to go down, eluded and broke a tackle there and then picked up some big yardage, 20 yards to be exact. Clinton continues to move the ball.
T formation now for the Redskins. Ball's at 30. Handoff inside goes to Roberts, and he'll gain about 5 yards after breaking a couple of tackles right at the line of scrimmage. So Roberts continues to move the ball down the field as well as Arnold, and that tandem is just lethal.
Well, they've been the only two to carry the ball so far for the Clinton Redskins, and it makes the 11th time tonight that Roberts has touched the ball. He's got 75 yards already on the evening, and we're just in to the second half.
I was going to say, although we have seen Brad Aarons and Mike Hatfield move in and out of the backfield quite a bit, those two have been providing a number of the blocks. Hand up again inside to Roberts. He's got one man to beat, and he just gets across to the 10 down to the 5-yard line. So Roberts with a big gainer that time. give him 20 yards, and Roberts just gets across the line so quickly, Dwayne, and before you know it, he is into the secondary, and like I said, he had one man to beat, and he would have made the notes that he had gotten the goal line.
And just a real good stop, a touchdown-saving tackle by the Hudson Tigers. And now Clinton's going to set up house first and goal from the 6 is where they mark that ball.
Chris Imber is on the wide side. Handoff low inside. This time goes to Roberts just at the goal line. And I don't believe he got it, Dwayne.
I think they're going to mark him about a foot short. All the linemen for the Clinton Redskins throwing their arms into the air, signaling touchdown. But the ball marked at just about the 12 inches shy of the goal line. So we look at second and about a foot.
Up to the line steps the Clinton Redskins, trying to pound on the door again, get some more points. We've got an 8-8 ball game. Inside sneak, and it looks real close. I don't think he got it that time. Blaisdell trying to get inside, and it was almost like he was trying to push against an immovable wall. Now the signal is for the touchdown, as looks real close, Dwayne.
Well, absolutely. They had to wait until they simply unpiled to see where the ball was, Nick, as none of the officials were there. They were right on top of the play, but none of them were going to make a signal until they saw exactly where Blaisdell was, and apparently he got it over, broke the plane. So Clinton goes back up on the scoreboard here with 6 more points at the 7:40 mark in the second half. They now come out to line up for the extra point, and right now it's 14-8 here at Wagner Field.
And they will go for the 2 points again. They've got the same tandem in the backfield, Hatfield, and to hand off this side, the inside to Roberts. No troubles for Roberts that time. He gets the 2-point conversion, a couple of jukes there, and Roberts is in. We've got a 16-8 ball game. We'll take a quick timeout here on Q95 Country. Drive by the Redskins, and here's the kickoff. And it's going to be received just about the 10-yard line. Run back in the middle and almost hit. Finally, it's taken down, and the ball will be spotted at the 23-yard line. So the Redskins there came back and countered with quite an impressive drive. As I mentioned, 89 yards, most of it coming on the ground game, and Jim Roberts really doing a good portion of it, as well as Jacob Arnold.
Well, Nick, both teams so far offensively able to do just about whatever they want to do with the ball. So kind of interesting that neither defense is yet to respond to the call. Hudson now sets up, and let's see what they do on this series of plays.
T formation, handoff goes inside, and that time it was picked up by number 34, Mark Gibbs, as he's banged up, and he's just about 4 or 5 yards that time on the play. So Gibbs been one of the primary backs this evening.
Interesting play call there by the Hudson Tigers. They come out, continue to be content, apparently, to keep the ball on the ground, give themselves 5 yards. We look at 2nd and 5. And Hudson now coming back up over the line of scrimmage. He's only gone to the air 3 times, Lawrence has tonight.
Again, Lawrence now, he goes back to pass, but, well, so much for that. I believe it might be a delay of game or some sort of motion on the line, Dwayne.
Well, we're waiting as the officials huddle now at midfield to give us the signal. And I'm not sure. And now the official comes out. Let's see exactly what we've got ourselves here. And we've got some movement against Hudson.
I believe we got some rain, too, Dwayne. I see some people out here donning some umbrellas, and the young cheerleaders from Hudson out there have put some ponchos on. So this could throw a little bit of a twist into this ball game.
Yes, indeed. As we look out into the lights here at Wagner Field and Clinton High School, we do see the rain falling. So our first Friday night of rain, that'd be interesting to see what kind of effect that has.
Well, a handoff inside this time, and just about 3 yards that time. The carry made by Corey Bork, and he gains just about 2 or 3 yards, and that'll make it 3rd down now, and give them about 8 yards to go, Dwayne. And maybe the run game, maybe they've got to look at the pass game, but with this kind of weather, I wouldn't want to touch the ball, especially when you first start, because as I know, the football gets very slippery when just a little bit of ball is on it, gets the oil on the ball going, and it can make it quite slippery. So we should see what happens here, as they call it. Lawrence, he decides to go back to pass. He rolls around the right side, being chased, looks downfield. He finally heaves the ball as he hits. It is caught that time by Gibson. In fact, there might be a pass interference that time, Dwayne, so you can tack on another 10 or 15 yards.
Well, the rain really starting to come down, and just as you say that, Lawrence rolls out, rolls to his right side. He's a left-handed quarterback. A hot pursuit by a couple of Clinton linemen, yet he's still able to get that ball off and then throw it for a big gainer. And now we've got ourselves Oh, boy, and the penalty's going to go against Hudson. It's off or not.
Ryan Sanford that time with a reception, but as we noticed, and I made the call, I did notice him backing up into the defensive back, and I think that's what the call is going to be, of course, the offensive pass interference, because he was trying to get some sort of position on the ball. He realized the ball was a little bit longer than it should have been, and to make that adjustment, he had to back up a little bit, thus he ran into the defensive back.
Boy, and just another time when a penalty just takes the wind right out of your sails. They mark this one off now. It's going to be a 15-yarder, and going to put Hudson deep in their own territory here at the 6-minute mark. So what looked like an impressive pass play, Nick, is going to be called back, and now they've got a 4th down. And wow, just about 5, 10, 20 yards, 4th and 20 for Hudson.
Yeah, that is also a loss of down, if you didn't realize that. So we see a punting situation down at just about the 50-yard line of the two receivers, the two big backs, Jacob Arnold and Jim Roberts. Punting chores now just at the goal line. Nice punt. It's a little bit end over end. It's going to bounce at the 35, take a Hudson bounce, cross just to the 40, and be down by several Hudson players. So the Clinton Redskins will take over the ball at the 40 of the Hudson Tigers, and this is where they can start expanding their lead a little bit.
And very unfortunate, again, Hudson, I think, is going to look at that one on the films over and over again. And, boy, a real unfortunate break is the offensive pass interference call. It spoils a big drive that Hudson had going. And as you say, Clinton getting the ball with excellent field position. Plenty of time left in this second quarter. We're at the 5:40 mark. They come up over the line of scrimmage. Going to be interesting to see how they change their pattern around a little bit to cope with the rain here.
Blaisdell single back. Jim Roberts in the backfield. Man in motion now. It's Hatfield. And he's going to pitch it out to Roberts just about the 45. He's going to try to juke him in. He's going to get around the right side. He does. And finally tackled down at the 25-yard line, rather. And he gets first down a little bit more. Give him about 13 yards on the run. And Roberts made something out of nothing there.
And, Nick, I've got him for the 14th carry of the night. And this is unofficial, of course. But I've got him at 110 yards already.
Wow. That's definitely impressive and shows what a key to Coach Scott McNitt, Jim Roberts is. And the amazing thing is this young man's still got another year left for these Clinton Redskins. So they're definitely happy about that. And now the officials are beginning to cover the ball. As Dwayne mentioned, you can see the rain coming down. Fans, a few of them trickled out, but some of them maybe went back to their cars to pick up their umbrellas and come back in the stadium. Handoff goes inside this time. It goes to Arnold. He runs around the left side. He's got open running room. Crosses down to the 10, down to the 5. He's just pulling his tackler and down to the 4-yard line. Jacob Arnold goes. That time, a big run by Arnold. Give him about 20 yards in the run. So Jacob Arnold's got to be racking up some stats there too, Dwayne.
5 carries for Jacob Arnold and unofficially 75 yards. So, yeah, two big guys getting a lot of work in that backfield, and they're making it count as they just rack up the yardage.
5:09 remaining in this first half. The Hudson Tigers are down to the Clinton Redskins, 16-8. The Redskins knocking on the door again. Ball at the 5-yard line. Blaisdell with the call. Handoff inside goes to Arnold. He works around the right side. Touchdown! Touchdown, Clinton Redskins. Jacob Arnold with the 5-yard run. And that'll give him now a, if I can do my adding correct, 24-8 lead.
Now Clinton going to probably more than likely keep the ball on the ground and go for the 2 as the rain just continues to fall, and we see several umbrellas popping up. For those of you going back to your car and turning on the radio, we welcome you here to Q95 as Clinton Redskins still in that huddle, coming out over the ball, and yes, indeed, it looks like they're going to try to tack on 2 more points, Nick.
Blaisdell with a call. He's got a T formation. Handoff inside goes to Roberts, and Roberts had wide open running room that time. So that'll make the score 24-8. We'll take a quick timeout here on Q95 Country.
The place to go in Hudson is Bobby's Pizza Place. Bobby's Pizza Place.
The beginning of this game have now taken some offensive control. Here's the kickoff, and it's going to be picked up finally at the 12-yard line. Run back in the middle of the field, and gains just about, give him 10 yards down to the 26-yard line. So the Hudson Tigers killed themselves with penalties just like the Redskins did a little bit earlier in this ball game.
Yeah, and that's going to be interesting now to see how Hudson comes out and reacts offensively. They find the hole just a little bit deeper than what it was when they left the field, But now they're going to come out. They've moved the ball very well, as we say, on the ground. If they elect to continue with that, they've still got 4 minutes, 40 seconds to put some more points on the board.
One in the backfield, number 22, Dan Rogers in motion, back to go, passes Lawrence. He throws it inside and just off the hands of his favorite receiver, Ryan Sanford, that time. And as I mentioned, a little bit of rain, but now it seems to have almost tapered to nothing, but still can make the ball just a little bit slippery.
And interesting enough, the Hudson comes right out and elects to go to the pass. And his line kind of letting him down just a little bit as a lot of defensive pressure being applied. So Lawrence, unable to really set himself up, kind of had to throw on the run. And now they're looking at 2nd and 10, Nick.
Lawrence with the call at the line. He hands it off inside and churning up the field that time, number 44. That's Casey Randolph again, and he'll gain, give him 5 yards, maybe 4 yards on the carry, and maybe we'll see Randolph again start churning up some yardage for these Hudson Tigers, Dwayne.
He's been the workhorse tonight. That's the 9th carry of the ball game for him. We've got him unofficially for 52 yards, so when they've elected to go to their running backs, which they've done quite a bit during the course of the evening, they've picked up some impressive yardage.
3rd and 5 now. Hudson Tigers based at their 30. Handoff inside this time, and very close to a first down that time. Number 34 with the carry. That's Mark Gibbs, the 6'2", 150-pound junior, the basketball player. And very close to a first down that time, Dwayne.
In fact, officials timeout. They're going to measure this one. It's so close, Nick.
We've got a 24-8 lead. The Clinton Redskins leading the Hudson Tigers. Thanks for spending some time with exciting high school football action here on Q95 Country WQTE Adrian. We hopefully you enjoy it. We've got plenty of high school action left, and not that far away from even talking about the playoffs. And at the halftime, we're going to sort of run down. We have the list here of who's in the running, at least as far as the prep playoff computer points run. So we'll give you some of those statistics and run down some of the other games in the county this evening as some key games. Now the games start to mean something, Dwayne.
Nick, that's right. You begin to play not only for league championships, but if you're in contention, you begin to play for computer playoff points, and that's how they determine who will do what.
That's a whole new ball game, I'll tell you what. Well, it's 4th down, just shy. I would say maybe by inches. So the Hudson Tigers, they're getting the call, and Bill Lawrence with the call. Jake Lawrence now breaking the huddle, and they come running up to the line. And not much, I'll tell you. It won't be much more than a whisker to get across for that first down. Handoff goes inside, and he's got the first down and more. That time the ball carried by number 44, Casey Randolph. He gains more than the first down. In fact, he gave him about 2 yards that time. So Hudson Tigers will like to go for it on 4th down, convert. That's a big key for them this evening.
It continues to keep their drive going. We're at the 3:30 mark of the 2nd period, and as you say, Clinton defense on a couple of big plays have just been unable to stop Hudson, and so Hudson picks up a first down, a vital first down, a part of this drive. Now they're looking at 1st and 10, the ball marked at about the 39-yard line. They're still on the move.
Nice to see the Hudson Tiger offense line running right up to the line and ready to snap that ball and get going. Back to pass goes Lawrence. He's got a man. And Sanford, and boy, that was a close one there that time. I'll tell you, Ryan Sanford had the ball, and he was hit mighty quick.
Well, Nick, we've got the entire Hudson coaching staff sitting immediately behind us, and they certainly felt that there should have been an interference play on it. However, the official right on top of the play elected not to throw it, and we look now at 2nd and 10.
3:05 remaining in this first half. Thanks for spending some time here on Q95 Country. And the Hudson Tigers, Jake Lawrence going over to his father. Bill Lawrence gets the call. And a little bit of nip in the air now with that light rainfall. Only came down for about 2 or 3 minutes. 2-8, the Clinton Redskins lead the Hudson Tigers with a 3rd down and 11 situation. Back to pass goes Lawrence. He's got a man. It's caught and out of bounds for number 12, Sean Cook that time. And Cook, real nice concentration because he actually was slipping as he was catching the ball.
Oh, boy, just a real fantastic play by Sean Cook. As you say, that ground is definitely kind of slippery out there, and he just tucked it away and then went down and made a great second effort on the play. A big pass play for Hudson. They continue to move the ball. 1st and 10, they're now inside the Clinton territory.
Well, Coach Bill Lawrence said he was going to go to the air and the ground and mix it up this evening, and definitely he has done that so far as the Tigers set up now at the 44-yard line of the Redskins. Back to pass goes Lawrence again. He's got a man open And Stanford caught for about an 8-yard gain. Stanford, nice concentration that time. He was double covered, so he's really going to both of his receivers this evening, Ryan Stanford as well as Sean Cook.
Comes out in this particular just after the timeout. The very first 2 plays from scrimmage have been passes, and both have been very effective that time. Mr. Lawrence dropped back simply and through the right side of the field. The time before that came to the left side of the field, so mixing up the patterns as well, Nick.
Second in about 3 yards, 7-yard pass play. Handoff goes inside this time, and tough to see the number from here. Well, way back, if you've never been to Clinton High School before, you've got a sloping arena. The stadium is well below us. It's not like most high schools, so it's quite different. It's tougher to see the numbers, but nonetheless, a beautiful facility they have here at Clinton High School. And was short of the first down, make it 3rd and 2, and the carry that time was by who, Dwayne?
Casey Randolph, number 44, has been the workhorse all night for Hudson.
So the Tigers step up to the line. They got a 3rd and 2. It's a handoff inside again. This time it doesn't look. Oh boy, what a second effort that time by number.
Boy, Nick, I'm not sure. I tell you what, Corey Bork, the ball carrier, picked up the first down. He was tackled well behind the line of scrimmage, and we thought the play was almost over. Suddenly, Bork just kind of bounced out of there on a big second effort, picked up the first down. And the drive continues to go for Hudson.
Well, the Hudson coaches behind us were muttering and bumming out because they thought that was it. He wasn't going to get it, but a beautiful second effort that time by Corey Bork. He just twisted himself around and managed to gain the first down. So the Tigers with first down again. We got flags all over the field, and I'm sure this one will go against the Tigers, Dwayne.
I'm not exactly sure. Clinton Redskins out on the field are indicating that. And now here comes the call, and it's going to be against Clinton.
Well, I'm not wearing zebra stripes, and there's a good reason for it. I'm not down there in the field. I'm calling it from up here along with you. So tough call that time for the Redskins, and they're really helping Hudson's cause. 1:40 remaining, and the ball now spotted just outside the 26-yard line. Boy, nothing better. The Tigers like to go in with a nice score here to end this first half. T formation now for the Tigers. It's 1st and 5 yards to go. Back to pass goes Lawrence. He finally gets rid of the ball. Almost intercepted that time as, boy, he was hit quickly by number 84, Chris Ember.
Ember came in totally untouched from the line. He lined up wide on the left side and came right in when Lawrence dropped back into his pocket and began to look for some receivers. First thing he saw was the jersey of number 84, Chris Ember, and Lawrence just able to unload that ball before Mr. Ember unloaded on him and took him down to the ground in a fantastic defensive play by number 84, Chris Ember.
Lawrence now steps to the line, faced with a 2nd and 5 situation. 1:28 remaining in this first half. They're down 24-8. Handoff goes inside this time, and tripping up to the 22-yard line, just short of the first down, is number 44. That's Casey Randolph, and he gains, give him 4 yards on the carry, and awful close to a first down. In fact, they might call for the chains here, and indeed they will, as Casey Randolph almost basically, he got past the line, and all of a sudden you saw that typical tripping forward motion and continuing to try to gain a little bit of extra yards.
Casey Randolph, a 5'10", 170-pound junior, getting just an awful lot of work tonight, as that is the 12th time this evening that he's carried the ball. We've got him for about 60 yards. Now the officials bring the chains out, and it goes down, and we've got a Hudson first down.
Well, you want to stay here at halftime. We're going to keep you up to date, and Dwayne will have his usual halftime guest, the athletic director here from Clinton High School, a very good friend of Dwayne's, in fact, Mr. Pittman, as well as we'll check in with some of the other games going on this evening, and also we will check in with those computer rankings. So you want to stick around for that and more here at Clinton High School. The Tigers now ready to go. They've got a 1st and 10 situation. The ball at the 20-yard line. Back to pass goes Lawrence. He's looking downfield. He gets hit as he throws, and just out of the... I'll tell you what, he might have had a man open down the field. That's why I got so excited, but the ball was a little bit thrown short because he got hammered right at the end of that play, Dwayne.
Again, number 84, Chris Ember, coming in from that left side. He's lining up real wide on the line of scrimmage, way over on the left side. It takes him just a couple of seconds to get in that backfield, but he's coming in there totally unnoticed, and boy, Lawrence didn't even see him. He got hit from the blind side. We've now got a timeout for Hudson, and we'll take a timeout right here on Q95 Country. Flying when Jake goes back to throw that pass.
And we've got a line. Obviously, a flag like that usually means somebody's lined up in the neutral zone. We'll have to see who it's going to go against this time, and I think it's going to go against the Redskins.
Well, there's the preliminary indication. Indeed it is. Boy, I tell you what, Clinton is just being plagued with penalties here in this first half. That's already their 7th penalty of the ball game, and we're still in the first half. A lot of teams come out of a whole game with only 3 or 4.
Minute 10, the ball spotted now at the 15-yard, might make it the 17-yard line. 2nd down and 5. He goes just for the end zone. Stanford is there. And indeed, it is a touchdown. As it looked like Stanford didn't have the ball, it was on the way far end of the end zone, and Stanford hangs on for a spectacular grab. 15-yard touchdown, and make it a 17-yard touchdown from Lawrence to Stanford. So the Hudson Tigers are definitely making a ball game out of this one, Dwayne.
Oh boy, a fantastic effort of concentration on the part of Ryan Stanford. He had 2 defenders on him, using his height advantage to the fullest ability. Went up right in the extreme southeast corner of the end zone, tucked that ball away for a touchdown for Hudson, and boy, the momentum is going to go into the locker room with the Hudson Tigers right here, that's for certain.
Look out, Desmond Howard, I'll tell you what, he's got 2 scores this evening so far to Stanford, so they're going for the 2-point conversion now. It's going to be handed off inside, he's going to get to the goal line, it's Gibbs. Yes, indeed, he got the 2 points, so the Hudson Tigers now are down 24-16, making a ball game out of this, and as you mentioned, they're going to get into the halftime now with quite a bit of forward momentum.
Oh, and somebody very slow getting up for Clinton, and that's number 34, Brad Aarons, and what a fantastic job he does on defense. And I tell you what, just some real hard footwork right there on the part of Casey Randolph, punching it in for the additional 2 points, Nick. He was hit at about the 1-yard line and absolutely refused to go down, continued to churn and grind and broke the plane, and Hudson finds himself in fantastic position here, only being down 24-16, but we've still got the kickoff and 1 minute and 2 seconds to go before halftime.
Well, we'll have to see how the 2-minute offense of Coach Scott McNitt works now, as he continues to pace the sidelines, shaking his head, in fact, right now. He's vividly yelling at some of those players on the sideline, saying, listen, guys, you know, let's tighten up a little bit on defense, but when you've got spectacular grabs like Gibbs like that, hey, he was double covered. The guy shouldn't have got the ball, but he did nonetheless.
Oh, just a fantastic effort, and here comes the kickoff.
And it's going to be picked up by Roberts at about the 14-yard line. He's got a nice wall, in fact, as Robert looks for an open seam and goes backwards down to the 35-yard line. So the Redskins are going to be taking it over at their own 35-yard line. 56 seconds remaining. They've got an 8-point lead. And I believe, if I were correct, that Coach Scott McNitt probably would be, if he finds that he's not going to be able to get any offensive yardage off the first 2 plays, be happy to go in with an 8-point halftime lead at this point.
And work on that defensive unit, as they've just really not responded 100% yet tonight in this ball game.
Blaisdell steps up to the line. He's got a single back, hands it off to a Jacob Arnold, runs around the left side. Arnold churning and moving. He gains 17, 18 yards. Arnold is just so quick and deceptive. When you think you've got him, folks are wrapping their hands around him. Really can't miss him. He's 6'2". He's a big boy down there, especially for playing a running back spot like he does. And the Clinton Redskins, in fact, take a time out here. So let's talk a little bit more about the strategy. Now the ball has been moved into Hudson territory, the 48-yard line. As you know, and we both know that the kicking game doesn't seem to be terribly popular this year in Lenawee County whatsoever.
Well, indeed it does, and you know, I think the coaches concentrated on a lot of other areas in high school football, with the exception of being the field goal and the kicking, and that kind of just happens as it will. And now we find a very interesting situation. Only going to the air 2 times tonight so far has been Mr. Blaisdell. So do you come out and do you throw, or do you go back to the fellows that's done everything for you all year offensively? And those fellows, of course, being Mr. Roberts and Jacob Arnold. And I think one thing right now that Coach Lawrence is working on is he is just vividly going at some of his defensive players, saying, guys, one thing you don't want to do is blow this thing with only 41 seconds left and give up another 6 or 8 points before halftime. Hang in there, defense, and be real tough.
All right, we'll find out what they do. They've got a single back formation. Roberts in the backfield. Blaisdell is going to hand off to Roberts. Draw, perfect draw, in fact. Roberts is all the way down to the 30, to the 25, down to the 15, finally knocked out of bounds. And, well, they really solved their situation pretty quickly. Roberts that time with a, give him 28 yards for a first down. So that's the way to do it.
Well, Nick, he lined up as if to pass and then ran the draw play, picked up 28 yards. only took 12 seconds off the clock. And just really some interesting things happening here.
Well, Roberts seems to be limping off the field, in fact, quite heavily as he's taken to the bench now. And we can see him right in front of us. He's complaining about, looks like a right knee, so that could be a serious injury. Single back formation now. In motion goes Arnold. It's going to be a fake handoff. He rolls around the right. He looks for the end zone. He's got a man open, and it's caught in. Sit down to the 3-yard line that time by number 84. That's Clint Imber. The big pass that time from Blaisdell to Imber. So what a heck of a play.
Oh, just some fantastic offensive work coming up right here by the Clinton Redskins as they got the ball. They marked the ball at about the 2-yard line. 24 seconds left to go, and they continue to work on Mr. Roberts over here.
Now they've got a first and goal. The ball at the 2-yard line. 3-back formation, as mentioned. Roberts is still sitting down there, so we're going to have to go without him. Arnold, though, going in for the run, and a touchdown for the Clinton Redskins. And so much for the momentum factor for the Hudson Tigers. These Redskins go down the field with only a minute 10 on the clock, actually 56 seconds, and they make an impressive drive to end this first half. 21 seconds. I'll tell you what, that was quite a short drive.
Indeed it was, and Nick, I tell you what, it's just really some frothing over there on the part of Phil Lawrence, as he is extremely upset with his defense for letting this.
All right, they're going to go for the 2 points. Are these Clinton Redskins? Back to pass goes Blaisdell. It's in and out of the hands that time of number 6, and that's Sean Young. So the Clinton Redskins get no 2 points that play, but they've got a comfortable 14-point lead as it's 30-16. So we've seen a lot of scoring in this first half, Dwayne.
A lot of offense going both ways, indeed. And who would have thought it from the Clinton Redskins giving up 16 points? And, just defensively, they've yet to really answer the call. And then just when we thought that the Hudson Tigers had all the momentum swinging their way as they made a fantastic drive with only 1 minute and 1 second to go before halftime, Clinton comes right down and marches on this thing. We've still got 21 seconds to go, and we got another kickoff, and Roberts being helped off the field, Nick.
Well, that could be a very, very serious situation for these Clinton Redskins. As we mentioned, he got hurt on a big run, in fact, a 28-yard gainer that time, as Roberts got through the clear on a beautiful draw play. It was just worked out so well. The pass was faked perfectly, and he came up limping off the field, was 10-2, and now he's being helped off the field by the trainer. He seems to be walking, but it is definitely hampering him. Kickoff now. The ball caught at 16 by Lawrence. He runs down to the 30, and he's trying to roll back. In fact, he's going backwards, and it's taken down. So instead of being about the 25, they're down to the 16-yard lines with 12 seconds remaining. And if you're the Hudson Tigers, you might want to just take it on a knee and get out of here in the first half, down 14 points.
Oh, boy, Nick, when you do a play like that, there's one person you wish was not your father, and that is the head coach, and that's exactly what happened there. Apparently, Lawrence thought he saw something, and so he kind of elected to reverse his field, and then the process of doing so just didn't happen. And now a penalty, I believe, Nick.
Roughing the kicker, Dwayne, is the call. So you're 12 seconds to go in the first half, and that's an interesting call. How do you rough the kicker on a kickoff?
Well, indeed it is, and now the officials meeting with the Clinton Redskins, they talked this thing over. I'm not exactly sure where you go from here as far as where you tack on the penalty or exactly how you handle this one.
Well, we're waiting for the officials down on the field. They're talking to the captain, number 34 of the Redskins, which, of course, is Brad Aarons. And indeed it is a roughing the kicker call, declined. First down now for the... That is the strangest call I think I've ever seen. Yeah, that usually happens on punting, but kicking, that's impossible.
We're hearing the discussion from the Hudson coaching staff immediately behind us, and they tell us that it's a brand new rule this year, and who knows, might have been the first time that they've caught it so far. The clock now starting to run. We're down to 5 seconds before halftime.
I believe they're going to let it run out, so the Clinton Redskins are going to go in at halftime. 30-16 lead over the Hudson Tigers. We'll take a quick time out here on Q95 Country and come back with Wayne Brown and his halftime.